With me is surfing photographer Bruce Brown. And Bruce, let me say, I think the movies you take of surfing are just superb.
Thank you very much, Bud.
Tell me, I guess surfing like any other sport, there are different styles and techniques, aren't there?
That's right, Bud. There's many styles in surfing. Two basic styles, a smooth, more functional technique that's used on big waves, basically, and also by some surfers on small waves. And then there's what we call hot dogging, which is things like spinners and head dips in small waves, usually closer to the shore. Well, Bud, for obvious reasons, these are called spinners, a complete circle on your board. There's another little stunt in surfing called a head dip, another portion of hot dogging.
Does this serve any practical purpose or not, that head dip?
No, it's just fun to do. It serves no functional purpose at all on the wave, just kind of tempting the wave to knock you off. Here's one of the top young hot dog surfers, in fact, top of any age hot dog surfers, young Corky Carroll. He's only 16 years old. At that age, he's already considered the top hot dogger in the world.
Well, here comes Corky right now, enjoying the waves out there. Tell me, Corky, why do you prefer this hot dogging anyway?
Well, hot dogging style that I use is fun. And besides that, the wave represents a challenge to me. I try to outfox the curl with my antics.
Well, Corky's pretty good on the big waves, too, isn't he, Bruce?
But he's very good in any kind of wave. In fact, with his antics, as he calls them, on a wave, you get the feeling watching it that the wave isn't breaking, it's just collapsing from exhaustion. In fact, let's watch some of these antics here in slow motion.
Okay.
In slow motion, we get a chance to look at his antics a little more closely here, doing some spinners on his board. You get the feeling watching Corky that he's just walking around the sidewalk when he goes through these movements. Does about 7 or 8 spinners on one wave, I think.
Looks like he almost breaks it up in two. He goes around halfway, then stops and makes a complete turn.
You do it differently depending on how the wave's breaking. Sometimes he'll go all the way in one motion. Sometimes he'll pause halfway through.
What's that wild turn?
Just a regular turn. There's something in surfing, we have hanging 10 and hanging 5. This is called hanging 5 because you hang your 5 toes over the nose of the board. It's kind of like standing on the front bumper of a big bus watching the white line go by. It's kind of exciting.
Any practical purpose served by hanging 5 or 10?
Not really. It will slow your board down, so it's one way to stall or slow the board, but it usually isn't done for that purpose except by a very few surfers. If you watch carefully, you'll see his board curl, or the nose goes underwater and just leans back slightly and pulls it right back out again.
Right there.
Right there. Corky really does some amazing things on his board, riding the waves.
Well, Corky, that certainly is tremendous surfing. Do you think you can still improve? Is there still more to learn?
Oh, yeah, surfing's such a new frontier. There's so many new goals to conquer, new fields.
Well, there's
I'm
a
just
lot
learning.
More to do, huh?
Oh, yes.
For just learning, you do awful well. Corky Carroll, thanks a lot.
Sure.
Good luck with the surfing. Well, that takes care of the hot dogging. Now, what about this functional type of surfing you mentioned?
Well, Bud, the smooth style, or the more functional style, is used exclusively on big waves, or you try to use it anyway the best you can. And it's also used on smaller surf, too, by some great surfers. Considered the finest surfer in the world is Phil Edwards, who uses this style to its utmost.
You know, there's a lot of conversation about who is the best, but you think Phil Edwards is the best?
In my opinion, all around, big waves, little waves, bright days, dark days, Phil Edwards is the best surfer in the world, right?
Well, let's watch Phil Edwards then.
Phil really makes surfing look very easy. He has almost an effortless style, although he does some very difficult things. And you almost always find Phil in the perfect spot in any wave he's riding, which is right back in what we call the curl, which is the pocket between the white water and the green part of the wave. Here he is ducking underneath the curl.
Now, does he have to do that?
Well, if he stood up straight, he'd just be knocked off by
Knocked right off the
white
wave.
water. Right. He stands on the board almost like he's glued down. You're going through the white water and right out again. The whole object is to get back as far as you can in the white water and still be able to make it out in the green part of the wave, what we call the curl, or stay right in the place toward it. Here's Phil stalling out from the nose of the board. He'll slow it down when he's actually on the nose, stalls again from the tail, then trims it up in a split second. He can really move across these little waves. Phil seems to get more speed out of a board than any other surfer. He can trim that board perfectly.